Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode on Omnifactory. With me, EnigmaCraft86, and we got a lot of stuff to do today, so let's go ahead and get started with it. You can see in the top corner, I have quite a few things planned, and yes, they're going to be fun. But, first things first, I did a little bit of mining. That one doesn't show it. This right here, I've actually almost completely destroyed these two picks, but if you look right here, I now have 13 diamonds. So I have a plan that's going to involve a little bit of a magic, that we say. But first, let's go ahead and get started with the mechanical part of this. And I already have the basic steam dynamo up and the CEF. So what we're going to get next is the basic wire mill. That's going to be the start of everything, because this can turn a lot of things into a lot of things. It can actually save me a lot of time when it's coming to crafting, because 1 ingot will make 8 of these fine copper wires. And the copper wires can be used pretty much for everything, because if you look at the primitive ones, well, look at that. Copper wires and fine copper wires. How do we get that? Well, we make 1 copper wire, which, how do we do that? Oh, look. So it can actually make quite a bit more. So this is going to probably be the smartest thing to do, is go straight into the copper or wire mill. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started with that. Now, there are quite a few crafting components involved in this. Mainly, it's these electronic motor pumps, which look a little tedious. So I have a lot of iron crafted up, and you can see we can actually interchange copper wires with fine copper wires. So that will help us out quite a bit. The iron rods, I can't really do anything yet till we get the lathe. And that will increase our productivity quite a bit. But first, let me go ahead and get quite a few of these iron rods and wires. Now, the only thing that's going to be a little difficult, well, not really. We just need iron and redstone for those. So let me go ahead and get crafting. I'm going to need quite a few of these just to get started, because you have to think we have to make 4 pumps in each one of those. Yeah, it takes a lot of iron. So that's like 12 iron right there. Not counting the copper wires, that's going to be a pain. But the primitive circuits, I think we actually have a few of those still laying around somewhere, hopefully. If not, yeah, I'm going to have to make some more of those. So let me go ahead and get to crafting on those, and I'll be back in just a minute. All right, everybody, and there we go. We have the basic wire mill done. Should be a quest complete. Oh, yes, look at that. Some fine piece of machinery right there, and we really need to get batteries. How hard are batteries in here? LV batteries. There we go. They don't look too difficult. See some tin plates and some red alloy. Now, I don't think I have one red alloy. I have a little bit of tin left, so maybe I should make up a few more of those just to be on the safe side. Kind of a way to store the RF. You know, it helps if I use the right thing. Oh. So with it like that, it does not have enough power. So we will actually have to make the batteries the standard way. That's not that big of a deal. Go ahead and make 2 of these real quick. And yeah, that shouldn't be too bad. Now all we're going to need is a little bit of tin. Like I said, I'm trying to keep the crafting off camera as much as possible. And yeah, it's not too bad, but it's just trying to make sure I keep the content at least pretty decent when it comes to content like that. I mean, you don't want to be sitting here watching me do this constantly, because it can get kind of old. So let's go ahead and get the battery done real quick, because that is the first step of it. And there we go. We got those, and pull out 2 of those. Now we're going to need sodium, lithium, or cadonite. Sodium is salt. Oh, we actually have a ton of salt ore. So how do we use this again? You know, it helps if I grab the right stuff. Oh, wow, that made 3. So that wasn't too difficult. I really probably should put that up there. And all we have to do is smelt it again. There we go. And now we have the small sodium battery, which I don't think is that great. But to start off with, I think that's the best we can do. I mean, lithium looks a little out of reach for us. Yeah. We don't have any type of machinery to actually get things going, so I'm going to go ahead and grab the rest of this, and there we go. Throw those in there, make one more of those. Go ahead and lock those in, just in case we have to make more. Now, this should start storing RF, maybe. Maybe I have to kind of kickstart it. I'm not really sure. That's the one bad thing about a lot of these thermodynamics machines. There we go. Yeah, now we're starting to get it. There we go. Now that's full. Now this is charging up. Perfect. So this is pretty good. This is going to help us out. This is going to drain all this. So now we have an easier way of getting these. So let's go ahead and I'll send another one. Plus we get 2 at a time now. These are storing RF. So now we can actually make quite a few of those wires and everything. But the next thing I think we probably should get into, go take that off, is the compressor. Compressor looks a little more daunting. Basically because it requires a few things that we're not used to. This we can make now, so that's not that big of a deal. So we can go ahead and make a couple of these. We just have to change out a few of the recipes. But yeah, let's go ahead and grab a few of that stuff. Oh, look at that. Quest complete. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and take a look at the quest and see what all we have done. So the beginning, yes, we got the LV compressor. Yeah, I get 2 Omni nickels. Fine copper wire, perfect. Now it's trying to get us to go into a few other things. LV piston is one of the next things that we're going to be making because it's going to help us get to a few other things. The compressor, fluid extractor, macerator, so forth. Now I'd like to get the compressor first, and yeah, then we're going to move on from there. All right, there we go, a compressor. Sweet. Getting all the machines now, look at that. Now it should be a little bit easier to make these plates and won't cost us as much on the materials. So that's one thing out of our way. Now the lathe, that looks a little more complicated, but the alloy smelter, that still seems a little bit out of our reach. But at least now we will not be wasting our materials on this recipe. So now if we really wanted to, let's see, what can we take as an example? Well, this rubber. Takes 2 rubber to make 1 rubber sheet, but look at that. It's going to be kind of chewing through our power. Well, actually, no, it's kind of even. But yeah, that's a good way of getting a lot of things compacted, and it's only taking 1 per. So that is going to help us out quite a bit, and it's actually pretty fast, so I'm not going to complain about that. Look at that, 40 sheets in just a few seconds. That is nice. Now we have an easier way of doing that. And we can actually take some of these recipes out of here, like this one right here. This right here. This one right here, we can unlock it now. And whenever we make a new one, we can actually use this. Go like that and craft a new one, but we do not have all the material yet. Now, I'm thinking of getting the lathe next because that would actually help us out with this part right here. The lathe, it is a little more complicated, but it should be easy to pull off. Let me see if I can scrounge up the stuff to make another one of these. Here's a prime example of what I was meaning. See, now it says that, and we can put these in here, and we can get that recipe, and look. And once we get over enough items in here, it'll actually clear that one out. But now we can make those a tad bit cheaper, which is actually kind of nice. Next thing I think we need to work on is sugarcane, because that is one thing I keep falling short on. So I want to see if something's in the pack. So give me a moment and I'll check something out. All right, there is this thing in the pack called Snad. So let's see if we can actually make it. And Snad is a very interesting thing. Oh yeah, look at that. We got Snad. Now, that took a lot of blocks. It was 162? Yeah, 162 pieces of sand just to make 1 block. But I wonder if I can do this. Oh yes, observers are in the pack. They weren't changed or anything. So I should be able to take a little bit of my vanilla redstone knowledge and kind of create something. Surface quartz, nether quartz. Okay, let's see. Can you smelt directly into it? Hopefully you can. Now a piston shouldn't be too hard. Ooh, that creates two. That's actually pretty good. Now, I just need some redstone. And if this works, this is going to be amazing. Now, piston. See if they change the recipe for this at all. Nope. Just cobble, iron, and I should have everything I need to make one. Now, I think we can actually make this with tar. And the quickest way I know of getting tar is actually cooking this stuff up. Which is kind of interesting. I like the idea for it. Now, it shouldn't be too difficult. There we go. Got a sticky piston. Let's get a lever. Alright, let's see if we can create something out here. And wow, those mobs are getting kind of feisty over there, aren't they? Alright. Let's put our Snad here. Actually, I don't know if this has to be in water. Let me double check this. So yes, it does have to be in water. Not a big deal. Now, kind of test this. If I don't break everything in the process. Now, if I remember correctly, Snad has an interesting property when you... Ah, it is still active. Sweet. Let's make a little device here. How about that? Now, I think... Okay, so that's how that places. And I do not have a pickaxe. Not my most elegant form of redstone, but it does work. Now, I can turn it off just by hitting that switch right there. And then let it grow naturally. Look at that. We already got 43. That's actually pretty good. It only took me a few seconds. And turn it back on. Just switch it down. And I can just stand here for a few minutes. And, actually not a few minutes, or probably a few seconds. And end up with almost a whole stack of sugarcane without a problem. So that is quite nice. And it's going to be quite handy. I'm going to have to figure a way to make that non-manual, or not manual, automatic in the future, but yeah, that works. So now back to this. All right, now we have the lathe. That really wasn't part of the quest line, but we took a look at the lathe. It's going to be quite handy, especially since we can make a little bit better resources. I mean, not much, but it does help with the rods. So for the next one, it's going to be these basic, or macerator, which we're going to have to go back through the same process, but instead of costing us 1 ingot per, we can actually get 2 per. So that's 2, 4, 6. And instead of using 6 iron ingots, now we're only using 3. That's going to help us out quite a bit when it comes to making this stuff. So I have all this stuff ready. I just need to make the wrought iron buzzsaw, which doesn't look too bad. And it looks like it just takes any wrench. So that's good. And yeah, everything else seems pretty easy to craft. Right, I think that's all we needed. Nice. Now we can actually get rid of this. And what type of alloy was I using? 4 times conductive alloy. Do I have any more of that? Alright, now we got our macerator down. Now let's see what it can do. Let's take some of this iron ore that I'm going through so much of. I think I lost it. And let's see how fast this is. Now, they do say ore doubling isn't really necessary in the beginning. But from what I am able to understand on this mod pack, it's going to be kind of a necessity whenever you're trying to not have to mine so much. that is what it's looking like here. Oh, look at that. We get 4 pieces, and then we can turn that, pulverize it into, let's see, ore washer, pulverize it again, and that gets 3 ingots. Really? Well, this does get you a little bit more. It gets you 3 more nuggets, I guess. It's a little bit more of a process than what I was expecting. So I don't know if this is actually going to be a good route, but I think the macerator, once we get to a higher level, let's see. Look at the uses on this, and we go to pulverizer. Oh, it's a pulverizer we need. LV. Okay, it was this macerator. Okay. But if we go up a little bit more in the tree, let's see. Well, blast furnace will get us more. And I guess because it only being the basic tier, it's not going to give us the extra. So we got macerator, macerator, pulverizer. Universal pulverizer, which is the EV tier. So it does not look like these give the, well, they might give the extra output. Yeah, you can see that one gives me 2. Well, this is a nice little way of ore doubling. I mean, I'm not going to complain too much. And we have to hammer this down, which is no big deal, which I think I have my hammer right here. So I can just hit, okay, so it's just right here. That really didn't take up any durability at all. Then smelt it. Now, this isn't going to be super fast, but it is going to be a way for us to get a little bit more out of our ores and not have to worry about them so much. And me not having to mine so much. Let me sleep because that rain is very distracting. Alright, everybody, not what I was planning on doing, but hey, there we go. Now we have a alloy smelter, which I probably should have made some more conductive wire to go with that. But to be honest, that stuff is pretty easy to make. And if I had that right stuff in there, look at that. Need a little bit more iron. But yeah, this is going to help us out quite a bit when it comes to actually making this stuff. And I did actually smelt down a lot of this iron. And I noticed something kind of funny. Turns out that if I put copper ore in here, and if I hit uses, and I hammer it down, it actually gives me an ingot. So I guess it was just copper that is the only catch-22 with that. And my power situation, it's not doing that great. But we do actually have some more copper, which is always a great thing. And all I have to do is use my hammer. But got it. And there we go. Now, wire-ish, easy to do. I am going to have to pick this up, which I think I have my axe in here. I hope this works. Yeah. So I'm going to put this in this chest right now because we aren't doing anything with it for the moment. But this will give us one more slot. And I can go ahead and throw this stuff back in here, let it start cooking. And now we can put down the alloy smelter, which will hopefully come in handy. I mean, I got a few batteries in here charging. The macerator is still going, which I would love to see if I can automate this. And I don't think I got anything too useful in here. I have some energy conduits from Ender.io. Now, we have thermal in here, so is item ducts. Item conduits are, but they require pulsating iron, which is, looks like it's going to be an interesting process, which is a EU one. So that's not going to work for us. All right, everybody, I want to give something a try. I not have enough power to do this. I have a setup for automatically doing my ores, but it's kind of, how would you say, draining my energy. So let's try and put one of these augments in, see what it does. That really did not do much. But it says it's supposed to help increase the amount of fuel generated or RF generated by it. So this might work. I know there is something called a soft hammer, which is something we probably should invest in. Which rubber bars, I don't know if there is a way for us to make it right now. Yeah, we can make it real quick. I think we have all of our river sheets stashed away. Let's grab 6 of those real quick. And I believe that will shut off our machines. And all we have to do is whack it on the front with a right click. And after this, nope, it stopped. All right, so our power should be coming back. Good. Now, what other type of augments do we have access to right now? I know I'm kind of changing gears here. So we do not need that one. Augment fuel catalyst. I think that's one we just did. It is. That's a boiler one. They got to type in dynamo. There we go. Auxiliary transmission coil. Nope. Nope. I can be able to make that one. Huh. Well, it looks like the only way we're going to get around this is if we make another one of these. Which isn't impossible, but is not what I was looking forward to. Because these do produce 40 RF per tick, and it's just barely keeping up. Alright, it looks like we're building up on power. Let me go ahead and drop some more charcoal into both of these. Which I will have to go get some more, but that's no big deal. And the water is slowly rising, I believe. Yeah, it's already 1,000. So this one infinite water source, the smallest one, is working. Now let's go ahead and turn that thing back on. Now let's see if this is chewing through the power. No, it is not. Look at that. Actually still gaining power. So while we're actually passively just walking through here, or being online on this situation, it will basically just make or double our ores for us. Now there are some of them I couldn't get into. And same thing with here. There are some of them I don't see a purpose in me really doing anything with. I wonder, if it's regular iron ore, does it have a different outcome? Crushed iron ore, pulverized. Yeah, it does. So it's just that magnetite is the weird one. Okay. Well, that's nice to know, but we're going to sit here and get some ores. Not a big deal. And that's actually a pretty easy way of getting it. Now, I already got this one done. I did make another one of those coils just to kind of make everything a little more efficient. And let's go ahead and claim all. Is there a claim all? Yeah. There we go. And we ended up with 8 Omni nickels. So 40 cents. There we go. We're getting up there. We're getting up there. I think we're up to $2. $2.35. We're moving up in the world. Now, this little setup will not work for very long, and I don't think there's actually a good power supply just yet. And it really wants us to kind of just push our way through all of this. Now, it looks like the blast furnace is one of the next things. You got an LV mixer, which I don't know what this does. You can make glue. That's always a cool thing. Sodium sulfate. I don't know what that does. A lot of recipes in here. More glue. Sulfuric acid. Okay. A lot of sulfuric acid. Salt water, which could be useful. Sodium hydroxide, which I think a chemical reactor. It's going to be an interesting little path on that one. We'll figure out what it wants us to do with that. It looks like it wants us to make energetic alloy already. Wow. And that was one of the components we were needing for one of the augments, if I remember correctly. But I don't think we're going to worry about that too much right now, because we have a few things I would like to get done. And you see I almost have 30 levels here. So I would like to get a few more levels and see what I can get. But I don't think we actually have access to the obsidian I'm needing, because I would like to make an enchanting table. And it's a basic vanilla recipe. Igneous extruder, you have that. I don't know if you can mine it. I mean, technically I should be able to if I take a bucket of water. And let's see, do I have my diamond hammers on me? I do. Now, I think I saw some lava out this way. So I'm going to go ahead and head over here, and after I grab some water, and see if I can mine that up. Well, it looks like I can, which is always a good thing. But I lost a little bit, so I'm going to get a few more pieces. Now, I'm hoping enchanting is not broken in this pack, hopefully. Let's just go ahead and try. Get 3 of these down. Now, can I? Oh, look at that. I can actually enchant. Now, the only thing else we're going to need is quite a few more books. And I believe it would just be some paper. All right, let's see if we can get level 3, or level 30. That's not bad. Now, that thing still working this? It does. Now, if I take that out, does it change it to something else? No, it does not. That's going to be a problem. I wouldn't want Fortune 3 on this. I want Mending. But really, right now, I don't think I'd be too picky. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of smelt up this lapis. Let's put that ahead of that. And I should have enough charcoal to break it down real quick. Now, let's pray we get something good with this. I mean, that's pretty much all we can do with this. There you go. Got 6 lapis. Now, in the future, there will be better ways of enchanting, but for the time being, I mean, I can even get smite on that. That's actually kind of nice. But let's pray we get something good. XP boost. Well, I mean, that could come in handy. This thing was pretty good for slaying mobs. So, yeah, I guess that would work. I guess if I go down... Let's go down to the mine after I sleep real quick, and we're going to go check something out. Now, there's a lot of cinnabar and redstone here. I wonder if it's going to give me anything for this. It does not look like it. So the XP boost is not going to help me any when it comes to this type of stuff. But that's a little bit of a browner on that one, but not a big deal. So yeah, that didn't go as well as I thought it was going to, but no big deal. We're going to find out a few other ways of doing things, and yeah, leather way. There is a way to repair them, but using diamonds to do that seems kind of like a waste, unless I had a really good enchant on it, like Fortune 3 or something like that. But, hey, I could always try and basically come down here whenever I have enough levels and throw in a book. See what I get. XP boost, fire protection, feather falling. Don't want any of that. So, this is an interesting way. Soulbound, that's not too bad. Now, I think if I take that off, it'll give me a different one anyways. Yeah, see, the interesting thing about the old way of doing Minecraft, it used to be, if you put a torch on it, it'd give you a different effect. But this isn't working the way it used to. So, I could be wrong on that quite easily, but hey, I could also sit there and pull out a level 1, see what I get, and I can't remember if mending is a level 2 or what on that. Apparently that filled up. But yeah, we could try for a minute and see what we can come up with. Hopefully we can luck out and get something decent to add to that. Got a little bit of a lapis, so we might as well use it. So you see something that we like, I will come back in a second. So everybody, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here for the day. I think in the next episode we're gonna try and get a little bit better power, a little more less fuel dependent. Thinking more along the lines of these steam solar boilers. Now, that's not too bad. I mean, get a few of those and we hook them up to a basic steam turbine, which actually does not look terrible. But if we get uses on it, right here, it makes 32 EU per tick, and it's 64 millibuckets of steam. And if each one of these creates 55 per 25 ticks, so we're going to have to figure out a way to math that. So I don't know if there is a better steam generator. There might be. I'm going to have to look this up and double check to make sure I could make something maybe a little better. But we're gonna have to take a look at that. But I think this is gonna be the wrapping up point. But so if you guys enjoyed that, we're gonna have to figure out a few things for like XP and everything else, because even with me doing all that enchanting, I did not get anything worthwhile, and I used quite a few levels, so that's not good. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And until next time, this is EnigmaCraft86 saying, take it easy, everybody. You all are awesome, by the way, and later.